We've landed on December 18th at 4:18 in the morning. The podcast hasn't posted yet, but in about 5 minutes, it will be.
Okay.
I could have gone with the podcast of December 16th. It was cold.
Should have said that because it's December 16th.
Yeah, but we're posting it on the 18th.
Well, aren't you posting it like 5 minutes after the 18th? Isn't that what the quote said?
Well, I'm going to post it at about 4:23 in the morning is when I'm going to have it go live.
Okay.
So, I guess that's how that works. It's weird. They're listening to it 5 minutes late.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should, whatever. I didn't think about it too much. But I did have to spend a lot of time looking for that exact quote because I couldn't find it online. So I had to go through my old Facebook posts to find when I posted it.
You just posted that randomly?
Yeah. Well, on December 18th.
Okay.
I also posted the December 16th thing, too, on December 16th.
It was cold.
Yeah. But it was several years ago that I did
It's actually pretty warm today.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
For being December.
But in the morning, it was cold.
Oh, sure.
In the morning of December 16th, it was cold. So, you should know by now. You clicked on this video. We put the name of the anime in the title of the episode. But we're talking one of my favorite animes. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. And the movie sequel, The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya. Ben, what... I guess I haven't introduced who we are. I'm your host this week, Johnny Ruhal. With me, as always, is Benjamin, a man that's made by God, Shaving.
Nice.
Could have gone with Shingen.
Shingen.
That's what they call them. That's how they refer to them in the anime, in the dub at least. In the books, they're called Celestials in the translations. So,
what are called Celestials?
The Shingen.
What are the Shingen?
A man that's made by God.
Okay.
The giant, monsters in closed space.
Oh, okay.
The Shingen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Why did you say the big monsters?
Because they're called the Shingen. Or
I
the
don't
Celestials.
remember that.
Or a man that's made by God.
It's right there, Shingen.
It's in your notes there, eh? Okay. Before we go into spoilers, let's do our basic bitch. What are your spoiler-free thoughts and ratings of the show and the movie, and then the show and the movie combined?
Okay. The show, I think, is really fun. I don't think I love it as much as you, though.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think there's some issues with it. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, it's really fun. Really funny most of the time.
Yep.
And yeah, really good.
Okay. What would you rate the show?
Show's an 8 for me.
Okay. Now, the movie. What are your thoughts on the movie?
Movie's kind of great. I'm trying to think if it's... I think I watched that movie with very little context for Haruhi.
The first time you've ever seen it? That makes sense, knowing the time frame that we watched.
So I think I watched and this as just a movie basically makes sense, except for maybe the end a little bit.
Mm.
But yeah, I think the movie's really good. I think it's about an 8 though.
Okay.
I think there's maybe just a little bit too much at the end, but we can talk about it.
Okay, now your combined experience then would also go to 8?
No, that's it. No, it's an 8. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to break it up even further. I think season 1 of Haruhi is amazing. I'm going to rate it 9.
So...
Sorry, you can break it up.
No, I'm just... How do you exactly describe season 1? Because we watched it weird.
Okay, we watched season 1 in the original broadcast order. I've mostly seen it in what's called DVD order, I believe.
Okay, so what we watched is season order.
Yes. So there's several ways of viewing Haruhi season 1.
But you kept saying it was Kion's version, I thought.
That's what they labeled it on the thing. But in 2006, when season 1 aired, it aired in the order that we watched it this time around. Which is they intersperse the baseball episode and all that so that they can end on the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya Part 6, the big kiss scene. Sorry, I guess there's a spoiler there. So that's the order that we watch it. And I've never actually seen that order. The DVD order is they put all the season 1 episodes in chronological order. and then they put all the season 2 episodes in chronological order.
Gotcha.
The Blu-ray order, they put everything in chronological order, season 1 and season 2 mixed up.
Okay.
So if we even if we were to watch this in the order, the DVD order or whatever, we watch all of season 1 in order, we would still have to swap the discs around a little bit, just not nearly as much as we did watching it in broadcast order. And then in 2009, when season 2 came out, they rebroadcast season 1 and then season 2, and then they put it in DVD order at that point, I believe.
Okay.
I wasn't watching the show back in 2006 and 2009. I came a couple years later. So,
gotcha.
Now, yeah, so season 1, which would be The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. So, the first, arc where, Kyon learns that all the supernatural stuff is happening, and it culminates in, closed space opening up in the school. And then it includes the baseball episode, the remote island 2-parter, what other episode? The
Computer Club stuff.
Computer Club. Well, the regular Computer Club stuff is in The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. But but I guess there's the Day of Sagittarius is Computer Club. The day where they're just hanging out in the club room and it's rainy, or not rainy, but it's it does rain towards the end of it, doesn't it? But Kyon has to go get the heater, and there's parts where it's just Nagito in the room reading, and we can sort of hear people in the other room or radio playing or something. Someday in the Rain is what I think that's called. Where they go and fight the big cricket. That's all the second half of season 1. Because season 2 is literally just Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody, which is when he travels back to Tanabata 3 years ago for the first time. And Endless 8 and The Sigh of Haruhi Suzumiya, which is when they're making the movie.
Yes.
So that's all. So everything else is season 1.
Yeah, season 1 is definitely stronger then.
Yes, I think so. Not just because Endless 8 is a slog, which we did watch all of Endless 8, and I have extensive
We can talk about it later.
We will talk about it later.
Okay.
You really don't need to watch all of Endless 8, is what I'll say. Honestly, watch the last episode is all you need. That's all you get in the books, by the way. It's just the last timeline.
I would say you could watch the first 2 and the last.
Yeah, I think those are good. If you're going to shorten it to 3, the first one, and then a middle one,
maybe.
and then the last one is all you need. If you're going to shorten it to 3. But honestly, all you get in the book is 1 timeline, or maybe 1.5 timelines or something.
Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I got some notes.
Okay. And then the movie making is fine, except it's kind of Haruhi at her worst for a whole arc.
That is the worst part of the show, I think, is that arc.
Yeah, it is rough. So I would honestly give season 2 okay, but Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody is pretty good when he goes back to Tanabata. Yeah. So I, being very sentimental towards this show, would give season 2 a 1.
A 1?
Sorry, a 7.
Okay.
I don't know where 1 came from. Though I might go down to a 6. Yeah. But I think Endless 8 as 1 or 3 episodes is actually 3 episodes is actually pretty doable for Endless 8. I think you get the bit and it's funny. 8 episodes is too much.
Yeah. Well, it's the first episode. It's okay, they're not. Yeah. Okay. Next episode's why are they repeating this?
Yeah.
Oh, they're in a time loop, and then you just get the resolution.
The balls they had.
You can maybe do it one more, maybe do 4,
Mm-hmm.
just to have a little bit more of that feeling of, oh, this is a time loop.
But the arc is called in the book Endless 8. So, they went for the 8. And there are, reasons people argue for it, which we'll get into. But it is a slog, and I don't blame people for skipping it. I think I skipped several episodes the first time watching.
Oh, really?
But I think this is my second or third time that I've watched all of Endless Eight.
Okay. Again, we'll talk about it. I got some notes.
But anyway, yeah, season 2 is definitely a dip. And then the movie is phenomenal. I'd give the movie a 10. We can go over your qualms about it in depth later. But it's one of my favorite shows. I have to give it a 10 on like my anime list. Just
I get you.
But no, yeah, the season 2 was particularly dreadful this time around. Season 1 was a lot of fun. There's only like Haruhi as a character is troublesome because like and it's a different time that comedy that was written where it's like, oh, this is like very fucked up, all the stuff she does to Asahina, but also Mikuru Asahina is almost sort of complicit. Like she very much could stop things, but doesn't, and that's not just, you know, she's feeling pressure from her higher up superiors there too. And you can argue when you run into the adult version of her that she looks back at it as fond memories and you're like, you're just kind of like rose-colored glasses. Like it's still wrong what happens to her. And then what they do with the computer club and her is way over the line.
Okay, the biggest thing she does to Asahina is just make her change clothes, right?
The biggest thing she does is put the computer club president's hands on her boobs.
Okay, I forgot about that.
And then threatens to tell the student council that all the computer club was going to gang rape them.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, no, that scene is hard to defend, so I don't. I don't defend it. Or I guess I should say my only defense of it is like, yeah, she gets better. Yeah, she grows as a person. Especially as like the books go, because the first book is the first 6 episodes of season 1. That the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya episodes. The second book is the Sai, them making the movie. So like you don't get a lot of her like best stuff. You see her at her worst in those 2 books, I think. Okay. And you see her at her best later on. Live Alive might be her at her best. Someday in the Rain might be her at her best. As far as like episodes in the show go. But those are like later in the year. Those are in the fall and almost winter time. So anyway, we've kind of dipped into spoilers as we go through them. So I don't know how else to talk about this show. But do you have a favorite standalone episode? And I would count the 2-parter on the island as a standalone.
I mean, I'm always a sucker for a baseball episode.
Baseball episode's pretty great.
After that, it might be the space battle episode where they fight the computer club.
Day of Sagittarius 3.
Also, any arts festival episodes are usually pretty good.
Yeah, Live Alive might be my favorite episode.
Can't go wrong with a good arts festival.
I mean, you can.
You can.
But the music in that was great. And like the animation of them playing the music was great too. Yuki playing the guitars, some good animation.
I'd argue the first episode of like the Endless Eight's really good just because it's an actual episode. You don't know the thing yet, but
yeah, you're just like, oh, they're just like having fun.
Yeah,
which is like
the show's at its best when they're just doing club stuff, I think.
Well, the show's at its best in the movie, but I guess if you're not counting that as the show, I like the last episode of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya when they kiss. I like that. Yeah. It activates my monkey brain.
Yep.
Kyo's line of like, what is it? One time you wore you wore your hair in a ponytail and it looked so good on you as criminal. It's like, all right, he's got a thing. Before we get too far into this, I just want to say up front that in preparation for this, in the last like week and a half, I have read all of the spin-off, The Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan manga. I have read... Well, I had already read several of the Haruhi books well before this. Melancholy, Sigh, Boredom, Disappearance, Rampage.
Okay, so Disappearance is a book.
Yes. Wavering.
Is it like pretty accurate to the movie? Did the movie just...
Yeah, it's pretty... I don't know if... I don't remember... It's been a while since I've read Disappearance. I don't remember if they do the thing I like to term as when they go into... what is it called in Ava? Instrumentality? When at the end of Ava, where it gets all like psychological, we're in the world of the mind.
You don't like the movie end of Ava?
Yeah. And also the last two episodes of Ava.
Well, see, I've only watched like the actual end of Ava, like just the series. I got the goodbye or whatever that is. That ending.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I've never seen the end of Ava.
Okay, but in the last two episodes where it's like all basically taking place in Shinji's mind, they do that in Disappearance, where like Kyon is having a debate.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. What else did we watch that had that recently?
And there's a lot of things.
Zenshu did that.
Yeah, Zenshu did that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that like is in the book. Okay. And part of the charm of the movie is that it's absolutely gorgeous animation. You know, that sequence included too is
Crispin Freeman.
Yeah, Crispin Freeman does a really good job in the dub. We should know we watched the dub. But I had already read Melancholy, Sigh, Boredom, Disappearance, Rampage, and Wavering. All of these books are the word that I just said of of Haruhi Suzumiya.
You said Rampage. I'm like,
Rampage
video game?
of Haruhi Suzumiya. No, it's based off of the movie.
The Dwayne The Rock Johnson movie?
Yeah. But in the last week or so, I've read all of the Nagato Yuki spin-off manga. I had watched the show, too, when that came out a while ago. And then I read the books Intrigue, Indignation, Dissociation, Surprise 1 and 2, which they were combined into one book, and just today, Intuition. There's one left that I have not read, which is Theater of Haruhi Suzumiya. I own it in digital format. I have not read it because we're on a time crunch. I didn't think you would let me read another book today before we recorded.
No.
So I'm like inundated with Haruhi knowledge right now. Some of it might have like gone in one ear and out the other just as I was cramming stuff. Oh, and I should mention that I've watched all of the Melancholy of Haruhi Chan Suzumiya, the chibi like spin-off show. So that's in my brain right now too. And you watched roughly a third of that, I think.
Maybe like 2 episodes.
Oh, I thought you were in there for long. They're only like 2 minutes long.
No, I didn't watch that many.
Okay. Well, you left at one point and came back at one point. And I think you only missed one episode in there. And then I watched the other like half of the episodes a different day. Anyway, they're fun.
Okay.
I have... Sorry, there was a note I wanted to write down. But I'll get into that later. Is there anything that you had questions on in the Haruhi series?
Not really.
Okay.
I guess just how are the books?
They're fine. I think the later books are... I think the show is better. The show and the movie are better than the books they're based off of.
Okay.
In the books, I think Koizumi is a little bit creepier.
Okay.
Not in like a he's a creep way, but in like a I don't know if we can trust him way.
I got that vibe in the show a little bit too.
I don't know. I feel like in the show he's like ultimately, humanized and very like, oh well, he's their friend. And sometimes in the books, I'm just like, Kyon like straight up doesn't trust Koizumi.
Okay.
So I get that feeling, but
is there like story progression, or is it just a lot of them doing high school stuff?
It's about 67% story progression, 33% high school stuff.
Okay.
And like sometimes the high school stuff is setting up story progression. So like, if we're talking books, Melancholy, Sigh, and Disappearance are in the show. Those are all like an entire book is dedicated to that arc. Boredom, though, is like that's the baseball episode, and the Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody, and the Camel episode, and the Island Adventure. That's all like one book of just like short stories.
It's the Camel episode.
When their website causes... Sorry, not Camel Cricket.
Got it.
Sorry. I didn't say the cricket part out loud. Mm-hmm. The Camel Cricket episode. Like that's just like a collection of short stories, and I would say that's just them doing fun stuff.
Okay.
Rampage is Endless 8, which again is just one loop. Day of Sagittarius, and something called Snowy Mountain Syndrome, which seems like it's just like a weird little thing, like the Camel Cricket episode, but it is set up for a character in one of the more serious arcs. Let's see. Wavering is like Live Alive, the actual like plot of the movie. There's a story about an old friend of Kion's who had somehow gained the ability to like recognize people that were terminals for the data mine, and he just saw like a brilliant light and thought that he was in love with Yuki. Mm-hmm. And they do another mystery like the island, but this time everybody knows it's mystery up front so as to not like potentially freak Haruhi out by thinking that Kyon killed somebody, which involves shamisen is going like a missing shamisen, and I think it actually involves like a cat duplicate, like another cat that looks like shamisen is part of the mystery. Anyway, and then there's like a supposed like Kyon thinks he's going on a date with Mikuru, but it's actually they needed to save a kid from getting run over by a minivan so that kid could probably go on to invent time travel.
Okay.
And is also like a neighbor of...
They saved Okabe?
They saved... it is also Haruhi's like somebody that lives near Haruhi, and she like tutors him.
Oh, okay.
But Kion's like, okay, yeah, well, I'll go buy tea leaves with you. And they just spend time buying stuff. And then they're like, okay, now we need to go on a walk. And then, you know, Kion wasn't told that he needed to save the kid, but he saves the kid. Mm-hmm. You know, so like that's a short story, but it sets up, oh, wait, there's other things where they need to go and like interact with this kid and do things that are like time travel missions. Mm-hmm. Intrigues is the literature club gets threatened to get shut down, so they have to release like a zine, and Haruhi becomes editor-in-chief, and they all have to write different stories.
Okay.
Kyon has to write a love story.
It's like that Community episode.
Yeah. Kyon has to write a love story. Mikuru has to write a fairy tale. Yuki has to write fantasy horror. Koizumi has to write a mystery, but he just like writes the mystery of their second mystery thing, the one where the cat goes missing. And Haruhi like writes like an essay about something, and then suppose like as soon as Mikuru reads it, she's like, "Wait a minute, that's where this paper came from? We didn't know its source, but this is like." Part of the funding research for time travel is based off of some of the shit that she's saying here. We didn't know where it came from, but this is where it came from. Okay, good to know. And then they also have a classmate is like, my dog is scared to go into a certain area, and other neighborhood dogs are scared to go in that area. And one of my neighbor's dogs got sick, and now my dog is sick. And it turns out it was like possibly the ghost of an alien that's not quite as advanced as the Data Overmind, but is like a data entity whose physical body got burned up when it like entered Earth's atmosphere. And so they're like, and it's slowly spreading and making these dogs sick. So eventually they're like, well, we can freeze it and we'll just put it into shamisen so that we can keep an eye on it closer. So shamisen's got a frozen ghost alien living inside of him right now.
Can he talk yet?
He has not talked yet again.
Okay.
As far as I can remember, he has not. And then we start Dissociation, which is really like Dissociation, Surprise Volume 1 and Surprise Volume 2 are all one story, broken into 3 books.
Okay.
They're in their second year of high school.
Ooh.
We get to meet an alternate... Oh, hold up. Sorry. Indignation is when the editor and the dog mystery is. Intrigue is Mikuru goes back in time 8 days and has a whole bunch of time travel missions that her and Kyon have to go on. That involve that kid and a rival time traveler that like Kyon immediately just wants to punch for being a cocky cock.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I knew I missed one. Because then we also potentially meet a rival Esper organization, too. We get more with the maid and the butler from the island, too. They show up again. And the brothers from the island.
Okay.
Yeah, but sorry. Dissociation, Surprise 1 and 2 is their second year of high school. We meet one of Kyon's middle school friends that everybody just assumed they were dating. And then she's hanging out with that time traveler and that rival Esper and another alien. So it's... And
okay.
They're just like, we don't want Haruhi to have all this power. We want to transfer it to your other friend. And the other friend's like, I don't want that. I don't want to be a godlike being. And they're like, yeah, I don't care. And yeah, at one point they get split into 2 timelines. There's a manifestation of Haruhi's subconscious that joins the brigade for a couple of days. That is fully aware of Haruhi's powers, and it was all part of saving it. At one point, I think Haruhi is crucified. She doesn't die from the crucifixion, but...
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Kyon time travels for like 5 seconds to like college age, and he sees a college age Haruhi, and then he disappears again. It's fun stuff. I really liked Dissociation and Surprise 1 and 2 as a whole story there. And then Intuition is the one I just read today. Goes back to like short stories. Though 2 of them are really short and one of them is rather long.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and I haven't read Theater yet. So kind of just a little bit of spoilers for the books, but that's kind of... Some of them are hit and miss. I think the one that was really long in Intuition was a little too long. And the other ones might have been a little too short. I don't know. And then it probably doesn't help that I like read as fast as I could through Dissociation, Surprise 1 and 2. Because I was up until 1:15 last night finishing that book. Because I'm like, well... I should just power through it, because then I could probably read another one tomorrow. So maybe they would have been better if I took my time. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Okay. Do you have any topics you want to talk about before I go into some of the stuff that I have?
Nope.
Okay. I'll just now say a general premise of the show. Haruhi Suzumiya is a... some form of, you know, for lack of a better word, God.
Mm-hmm.
It's the power to change the world subconsciously without realizing it, to make it more interesting or more fitting to how she thinks the world should be. A lot of coincidences happen around her because of this. And Kyon is an average, normal boy that somehow just like is the one person that will start a conversation with her. And then she decides, oh, I want to make a club because all these other clubs I tried were boring and not what I wanted. Forces Kyon to join, and then forces 3 other people to join. And they happen to be a time traveler, a alien, and an Esper, which are 3 of the 4 people she says in her introduction that she wants to meet. The other one is Slider. We've not met any Sliders yet. I think a Slider is somebody who can change dimensions, slide between dimensions.
That's that one show with Jerry O'Connell, right?
Maybe. Jerry O'Connell is the guy that wishes, or that looks sort of like Tom Cruise, but is in Kangaroo Jack instead of Anything Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see that. I know he's in Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah. He's the guy who sort of looks like Tom Cruise in Kangaroo Jack.
Okay.
I don't know. Does he change dimensions? Is he in
I don't know. I just
Slider?
know there's a show called Sliders.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. There's a restaurant called Sliders.
Probably
she's not talking about the restaurant.
Anyway, she wants to meet all these supernatural things and hang out and be friends with them. And lo and behold, she does. But you got to keep it a secret from her because if she starts to think that these things are commonplace, then she might change the world even more drastically. Mm-hmm. And they want the world to remain as it is for the time being.
Yes.
Kyon gets thrown into all the adventures. He gets to have all the fun that Haruhi wishes she was having for the sake of the world. And then they all join the club, and sometimes they gotta win a baseball game to stop her from destroying the world, and sometimes she gets really depressed, and they've got to somehow, get to a point where she's stable. That's the first arc. And sometimes they're just, doing stuff. I don't know what to tell you. Endless 8, despite being a time loop, is really just them doing stuff.
Yeah, it's just their summer vacation.
Yeah. Just over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I never wrote down the number. Was it 15,532?
Yes.
Okay. I remembered that for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to... we've already kind of talked how I ranked the seasons. Mm-hmm. This watch through was a little disappointing in how much I was bothered by season 2, but it might have just been the slog of Endless 8 hitting, too. Mm-hmm. There's a particular part of Endless 8 that I'm just like, hurry the fuck up.
It's where they're
discussing the time loop, yeah. Which is like the most interesting part the first time you watch it, because you're like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. The time loop is happening.
There's a fatal flaw in those episodes, and it's that part.
Which, it doesn't help that I was like trying to make notes of different things that had changed, or like, this is what they all did in this part. And that one, I'm like, okay, but there's nothing that I'm making notes about on this one, so I get bored. And then after it, I have a fuck ton of notes that I need to make in a short time, because I'm like, sometimes they show the Gobi fishing tournament, and sometimes they show the test of courage, but sometimes they just mention those, and 5 seconds or what have you.
So yeah, that's the biggest flaw of those episodes. I think the other thing they could have done to make them maybe a little bit more, not like rewatchable, but more entertaining, is showing different events that they did. Because all they really show is the pool, the job, and like
the festival. They
could have showed the other things they did.
And they do in some of them.
Yeah, but they're like montage. It's like, oh, we did this and then that and then that.
Well, and sometimes they're like, we did all these things, and then they're like showing a montage of them watching a movie, or showing a montage of them doing karaoke. We see the bug catching quite a bit, because that happens before the job.
The what?
Bug catching?
Yeah.
The SOS Brigade's data catching contests.
I was thinking more of like the karaoke and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that last little part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like they had a whole list and they showed like 5 things. It's like you could have like focused on some other activities just to give it more variety.
Yeah. They do like props to them. They're not reusing animation. They have different like outfits and stuff. I started after episode 1. I started noticing like trends in the outfits that they had, which I don't know if they just had like different art directors or something. So like Episode 2, there was a lot of like long hooded vests. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Episode 3 had more sundresses than normal. Episode 4 had some short sleeve sweatshirts.
Oof.
Episode 5 had off the shoulder top with undershirt straps showing. You know what I'm talking like with the
Sure.
the overshirt shows the shoulders, and then you can see like a straps of an undershirt or something on the shoulders there. Episode 6, that I put cool shirts, and that the shirts that I would wear, it's just like kind of a basic shirt with a logo in the middle. Episode 7 is stripes and numbers. A lot of striped shirts and shirts with numbers on them. Episode 8, I didn't really find one. Okay. I did also put a brief description of Haruhi's swimsuit in each episode.
Okay.
Episode 1, red and white two-piece. It's not like a bikini, it's just like a two-piece. Episode 2, it's like a red Chinese dress-inspired two-piece. It had like a skirt-style bottom. And it wasn't a bikini top. Mm-hmm. Episode 3, red two-piece bikini with white outline. Episode 4, orange with pink butterfly two-piece with red strings. Episode 5, pink and red stripes, white outline. Two-piece but not bikini. Episode 6, yellow, white, pink, and red hearts on blue background bikini.
On a blue background?
I think so. That's what I wrote. It might have like shifted to like a white background and blue hearts at one point. I think they like sometimes there was more colors in the hearts in some shots than others. Episode 7 was pink with darker outline bikini. And episode 8 was orange two-piece with ties on top and bottom, ties on the bottom and crisscross straps on top.
Okay.
So yeah, that was all the swimsuits. I think I noticed a change in the other girls' swimsuits and Kyon and Koizumi's swim trunks. At one point, Koizumi had a Speedo. Yeah. And only one episode, I'm fairly for sure. Every other time he had trunks, but I didn't. There was not enough time to write them all down. And I'm fairly for sure at one point I saw Yuki with the same swimsuit, or at least a very similar one. Yeah. So I also wrote down every mask that Yuki selected.
Okay. You really got to go through these all?
No, I don't have to. But they're all pretty like similar, like Super Sentai, bug, alien-looking masks, just like different colors and slightly different designs. But they are different every time. Mm-hmm. They wear different outfits, every time that we see them, basically.
Doesn't Yuki wear...
For the most part, she wears her school uniform. Yeah.
There's a difference in a couple, though?
I don't think... I mean, obviously, when she's wearing a swimsuit, she's not wearing her school uniform. But I think she wears her school uniform throughout for the rest of it. Let's see. Yeah, some noticeable differences. They mentioned like hunting jellyfish on the beach in episode 1. I don't think that really gets brought up again. Yuki will always have like a different like cool rare bug that like she shows Kyon and he's like, whoa, cool, but it's not a cicada, and so she doesn't win the contest. There's an episode where when they're at the frog job, Haruhi wears a shirt that says 69 on it. You'll notice in Sai of Haruhi Suzumiya, which canonically takes place after Endless 8, Kyon wears a shirt that says 70 on it. And in a former podcast that I did like one episode of called Otaku Tea Time, I drew attention to this, and I'm like, this is Haruhi wanting Kyon to be on top. This is her subconscious knowing that eventually in the future he'd wear a shirt that says 70. So she needs to be the bottom and put the 69 on it. This time around, I'm like, I don't know if I can really believe that. Or even like pretend to believe it.
It's probably just a small production joke.
But I did notice this time that when he wears the 70s shirt, that is the episode in Psy where he gets really fucking angry at her because she spikes Asahina's drink.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's Kyon coming out on top of Haruhi, and like he's not putting up with this shit anymore. Interesting. This is all very much intentional.
It all adds up.
So. Yeah. 69 plus 1 is 70. That's addition right there. That was the one too many. That's what it was. There's an episode where they play dodgeball instead of water soccer. There's several episodes where Haruhi kicks the ball and it hits Mikuru, but there's an episode where it hits Kyon instead. Kyon mentions different like mecha anime in the frog jobs. So like in episode 4 he mentions Gundam. In episode 5 he mentions Ava. There is an episode where I think Haruhi wears like a explorer's outfit, but then there's another episode where Koizumi wears an explorer's outfit. There's an episode where Mikuru wears a Robin Hood hat at one point.
Okay.
That was episode 7. Give a brief rundown of stuff done, basically in each episode. Go to the public pool, Bond Festival, SOS Brigade Cicada Catching Contest, Frog Job, Stargazing, Batting Cages, big fireworks. They do little fireworks at the Bond Festival. Gobi Fishing Tournament, Test of Courage, movie, beach, bowling, karaoke sometimes. I think most times karaoke. Beach, honestly, most times not mentioned. Yeah. And then in the very last episode, they spend their last day helping Kyon get all his homework done.
Yep.
Which is what breaks them out of the time loop. Because Haruhi was looking for that one last thing to like make Summer feel like she had truly done it. But since she always does her homework early, she's never gotten that thrill of last minute cram all the homework, copy what everybody else has done.
I like that the answer was homework.
So I gave you a quandary at the beginning of episode 8 of what breaks them out of the time loop because you didn't remember. And I gave you a hint that it gets mentioned twice.
Per episode.
Yeah, per episode. And was that hint too much of a hint?
I don't know. Probably just a little bit. Because then you're just like, what do they mention every episode but they haven't done yet? And it's like, oh, they mentioned homework.
Yeah, Kyon always has like a spiel at the end where he's like, well, we're going to repeat the time loop anyway. I'm not going to do my homework. And
there's always the conversation where Haruhi said she already did her homework. So.
Yeah, and that is... Now, you mentioned your answer was technically, does Kyon have to do his homework? And I think technically that's wrong.
Technically they
I think to break out of it, they needed to have the all-day study session. Yeah. Like, if Kyon had just done his homework, like, in between this stuff, I don't think that would have broke them out of the loop. But having the study / hangout session was where it was. So, okay, I did want to mention, just very briefly, in the movie, they decided they're going to put on a play at the very end on like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day for the neighborhood kids in Haruhi. And not a movie, you said play. I said play. I had said the word movie, but I meant in the movie Disappearance. Yes. Anyway, the name of the movie is Big Battle in the Sky, Santa versus Reindeer.
So you said movie again.
Did I say movie?
Yeah.
The name of the play It's Big Battle in the Sky, Santa versus Reindeer. With Kyon playing the part of the reindeer, and I think Haruhi playing the part of Santa is what they say.
Yeah.
What do you think that's about? Can we pitch what that is? Can we
Big
draw that
Battle
up?
in the Sky.
Big Battle in the Sky, Santa versus Reindeer.
Oh, it's probably a thing where there's a reindeer trained to be part of Santa's crew, gets rejected because of something, and he's like, I've had it with this crap. Gets his own ragtag team, and they fight Santa and his crew.
Okay,
So
you think Santa's got his normal reindeer backing him up?
Yeah,
And Kyon's gathered like some misfit reindeers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I thought it might have been like
you think it's like a revolt?
he was maybe like he just like he's getting pushed too hard by Santa
Rudolph's
on the team,
getting pushed too much,
and so he's like, you know what, I'm leaving you up here, old man, breaking free. And you can fend on yourself, and Santa's got to break out Christmas magic, and then call him, and because Haruhi's playing Santa, probably call him ungrateful for everything that he's done, everything that Santa's done for poor Kyon the reindeer. Okay. I also have a conversation here. What do you think Kyon's name is? Because it's not Kyon. It is established as a nickname that he does not like.
I have no idea.
So there's two theories that I've seen online. One is that his name is the same name as the author of the books, Nagaru Tanigawa.
Okay.
And the other is that it's literally John Smith.
Okay. I like the first one more. It's the author's name, but
yeah, the John Smith one. Why would he call himself John Smith in Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody? And why wouldn't Haruhi immediately go like, "Wait a minute, your name is John Smith and you're a North High student"?
Yeah.
Don't wait, I don't think it would have worked.
So the answer for that would be like, all of this was created by like Haruhi anyway. So like, he has no name except for Kyon. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Kyon's sister also doesn't have a name. She's literally called Kyon's sister. I own like a volume 1 DVD of Haruhi from before I got the Blu-rays that were included. So it was like special edition that included 2 audio CDs. And they were, I think like if you buy all the volumes, each of the audio CDs is based on a different character. Kyon's is just called Kyon's, no last name. And the other one that came with it is just called Kyon's sister. Which I'm like, yeah, that's right. She doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
Just referred to as a sister. Okay. Let's see. But, I don't know what else to say before I guess I have one other thing.
Okay.
Do you think Yuki Nagato thinks of Asakura as a genuine friend of hers?
Asakura is the one who tries to kill?
Yeah, the one who tries to kill Kyon twice.
Thinks she's a genuine friend.
Do you think Yuki thinks of her as a genuine friend, just misguided?
Probably not. I want to say no.
I think I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
For several reasons. Number one, I have seen... this is in Disappearance as well, I guess. When Asakura is like, okay, is she a normal person this time around in the movie? She like mentions like, hey, I regularly bring meals to Yuki, and like it establishes them as friends in that like timeline. Asakura is also like trying to get, before resorting to violence, which is what she does towards the end of the movie. She like is aware of the situation and is very much like, you have to accept the reality in front of you, and like in ways that you could be like, okay, she could just be saying like, why are you acting weird? Are you half asleep? But I'm like, I think she's just like, hey, do that, and when they're in the building, it's like,
well, is it that, or is it just like a defense protocol that Yuki put into this world?
Well, I think it is a little bit of both. I think Yuki trusted Asakura when she rewrote the world to like be the guardian, but obviously again she fucked that up.
Yeah, because like you could argue that she's basically a computer, so like when she rewrote it, she knows that like she probably has to have a friend in this timeline, just because it'd be kind of weird not to have one. But like, I don't know if that makes them friends.
So there is, and this is not immediately evident in the show, though there are hints to it. Mm-hmm. There is a third alien that lives in that building that we have met in the show. When they get visited in the episode with the camel cricket, and they get visited by the computer club president's girlfriend, that then the computer club president has no memory of her after. That character's name is Imari Kimidori. And she is confirmed to be another terminal for the data overmind in the books. So later on. Okay. And like she shows up every now and again. Not the alien I mentioned previously. That other alien is like from a completely different entity that is quite possibly is even harder to communicate with. They have trouble making contact with that alien, with the other data overmind entities. But Imari Kimidori could have very well held that position.
Okay.
Now, did the author know enough about Imari Kimidori at the time of writing that? Was it as big of a punch to just see this person back? No, I mean, like, narratively, it's terrifying when Asakura shows back up, and then terrifying when she starts acting like her old self.
So were those two, like, working together? Or they just happen to be the same, part of the same entity?
Asakura is Yuki's backup.
Okay.
So there is, I mentioned in the books that there's another alien entity. At one point, Yuki is, like, trying to make contact with them, and like has a fever and is shut down for like a week and doesn't go to school, and like Haruhi freaks out and goes over and cooks her meals every day, while Kyon has to deal with the other alien time traveler and Esper that are fucking shit up. And at that point he runs into the alien, and Asakura actually does like quote unquote show back up. Kyon only hears her voice. He refuses to turn around and look at her. But she's like throwing knives, and they go back into like that closed space type area where she can override the data. Imari Kimidori also shows up, but does not fight. Technically, she's from a different faction of the data overmind, same entity, but like a different faction that wants to just watch things and not interfere. Okay. And Asakura is technically part of a different faction too that wants to see more change in it, but they're all part of the data overmind, and Asakura is like her backup. So like when Yuki's out of commission,
got it.
You know, Asakura comes back into action, and it's just kind of like, okay, well, she can just come back at any moment if shit needs to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Asakura is like the second most important character, if not the most important character, in the Disappearance of Nagato Yuki-chan anime.
Okay, which I have not seen that, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's...
I've heard you don't have to.
You really don't have to. It's fine. Kyon is basically not himself. He's just sort of generic, nice guy that, you know... eventually, you know, starts a relationship with Nagato way far into it. Haruhi's still pretty great in it. She's the best part of it when she like shows up. They have like the Christmas party, and then they're just like walking home, and they just see Haruhi like freezing on a bench because she was in a sleeping bag all night trying to stay up to capture Santa. She had written a bunch of stuff on the you know, in another like courtyard somewhere that was like try to be a trap to get Santa to come down. You know, she very much still like likes Kyon, but kind of takes a back seat. Okay. She does like join the literature club at first, like, sneakily, and then eventually gets, like, oh, no, like, it's revealed, like, wait a minute, you were just talking to one of the teachers in your other school uniforms. Like, yeah, I got permission months ago to start coming here. I didn't tell you guys. I don't know. So she's still fun in that, but...
What's her hairstyle?
Still long.
Still long.
Mm-hmm. But I think she gets a ponytail at least once. And here...
It's, like, long, like, first episode long.
Yeah, like when they're in the alternate world and disappearance long. And here's the worst part of the manga is that Kyone's ponytail fetish is still a thing and it becomes known. And Yuki is like, well, I guess I'm going to grow my hair out. And it's like, no, what are you doing? And like, it's very like towards the end, it's slightly longer, so it's not too bad. But then they have like a 2 years later at the very end, and it's like, you know, kind of maybe down to like here-ish. Mm-hmm. And like, so she can put it in a ponytail. And I'm like, come on. You're reverse Ghibli-ing this. I don't like it. Not written by the same guy. It's written by somebody else. Okay. It's fine as a romantic comedy, but Kyon doesn't feel like himself. Nagato doesn't really feel like herself. She's a little, like, she's still like a little shy, but not to the point of like, her in the Disappearance movie is really good. And this is just like, now she's more awkward because she's, you know, not necessarily like shy and bookish, but, you know, like too into video games or whatever. Like, okay. Though, I guess to be fair, that is a thing in Day of Sagittarius 3. She has fun playing the video game. And in the book, she basically does start like spending time with the computer club to the point that they're on good terms with the computer club now. And it's like, it's sort of like SOS Brigade, you know, location B or whatever, and that they just like, you know, are on good terms with them moving forward. So it's like, okay, so she does like games. And then the little spin-off you saw where like her book slowly got replaced with games or whatever. She liked games, and the little Haruhi-chan spin-off. Which I actually really liked that. Those were fun and cute. And there, Asakura shows back up again, but she's like a foot tall.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And like has to rely on Yuki to like not get attacked by cats. Mm-hmm. They get a little... Yuki also gets a balloon in the shape of a dog, but not like how you would make a balloon. Like, she just, like, changes the shape of the air in the balloon to be dog-shaped. And then that dog can talk. Okay. And so, like, and Yuki has a lot of fun with this. Going back to my Asakura friend theory. Yuki has a lot of fun with that little Asakura. Much to Asakura's chagrin. Like, it's kind of torture to her. But Yuki's having a lot of fun with her. And they are, like, best friends in the... Disappearance of Nagato Yuki manga. So I think our Yuki, the best Yuki, does genuinely think of Asakura as a friend in the way that she's very subdued about everything anyway. Okay. But I think there's like a little bit of like, I'm going to give you another chance in there. And if things were different, maybe Asakura and her could have been actual friends. So that's my theory. I think that Yuki does think of Asakura as a friend, but prioritizes Kyon. Because I think my impressions of how Kyon gets along with all of the brigade members, and I know I'm just ranting here, and you're just sitting there, but...
That's fine. It's a Haruhi episode. This is what it was going to be.
Kyon and Haruhi are very much fated for each other, as much to Kyon's chagrin. But I think Yuki is like the person that Kyon trusts the most. Mm-hmm. Though after the first couple books, there is a very much, I think, stated by Koizumi, a trust that Kyon has that Haruhi will ultimately do the right thing. So I guess there is like a very strong trust there. But like, if shit's going down, Kyon is like, Yuki is the person to talk to. I honestly think they might be best friends.
Does he say that in the movie or in the show somewhere? He basically says that in one of the things.
Yeah. It's like, Koizumi is useful, But Nagato is all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And like when Nagato gets taken out of commission, it's very much,
Koizumi is his like straight man, kind of, where it's just like he's the one he can talk to about this.
Yeah, Koizumi will explain things to Kyon. And Kyon will sort of understand because Koizumi gets lost in the weeds on the philosophical
It's like Yuki's
stuff.
not going to tell it to him straight.
But it's like if stuff's going down, he's like, I can always trust Yuki to come through.
Yes.
And I honestly think that Yuki is like his best friend, especially in the books where he's like still like.
It's not that one guy.
Taniguchi. I love Taniguchi.
We get more Taniguchi.
We get to meet more of we get to meet Taniguchi's girlfriend that he has that he mentions in the movie, and it is the other alien entity that cannot like make full contact and is like even stranger than Nagato.
Okay.
Because like, and sometimes like people don't even notice that form that he takes, but he's just like with Taniguchi and Kunikita, and it's like, oh yeah, this is my friend Sasaki, who Kunikita also knows because they all went to the same middle school, but Taniguchi didn't. And Taniguchi is just like, oh shit, my ex-girlfriend is here. And it turns out that she's so doesn't understand humans that she thought that Taniguchi was Kyon at one point. She's like, I was trying to get closer to Haruhi. And when she breaks it off with him, she says it was a mistake, which Taniguchi takes
not well.
It's right before Valentine's Day too.
Okay.
But she's literally like, no, it was a mistake. He wasn't who I thought he was. I thought that you were basically the same thing. But I'm like, I don't know. I still kind of ship it. Like, that alien was, perfectly possible of killing Haruhi. The other time traveler was definitely going to try to kill her. And he had like what he thought was an alliance with her. But I don't know. There's some room. Anytime that there's a girl, I'm like, yes, they can be redeemed. Boys can't be. Girls, maybe. Get her back together with Taniguchi. I'm fairly for sure that they're together in the Nagato Yuki manga. Sorry, I'm going all over the place here. Okay. I want to go into... okay. So if Kyon loves Haruhi and refuses to admit it, is best friends with Yuki, his relationship with Asahina is very much like crush on her 100%. And I think...
a little bit of pettiness, too. It's like, do you feel
sorry? Oh, yeah. There's definitely some pity there. Which, like, a more cynical mind would be like, how much of that is an act to try to get Kyon over to the time travelers thing? Which I think is something Koizumi straight up says at one point. Is that, it's like, we don't know. Because there's very much... I feel like in the show, they all get along. And in the books, it's very much like Asahina is kind of scared of Yuki. Even adult Asahina is like, I am uncomfortable being around Yuki.
They all kind of don't like each other.
But they all kind of also get along if Haruhi is there. But like as soon as like, it's like, okay,
I think that's what Kyon's there for too.
Yeah, I think so too. I think at this point in the books, Kyon has like pretty much assured with all of them that I'm fairly sure Koizumi would go against the organization if it meant protecting the SOS Brigade.
Oh, really?
And like I think he's very much like kind of like cowed the Data over Mind thought entity, being like, no, Yuki stays here with us. Though, like,
again, that's part of the movie, the shoe, right?
Yeah. Oh, very much.
Kyon says that.
Yeah, Kyon says that.
Okay.
Where he's just like, you tell your fucking boss
Yeah.
that if he takes you away, I'm gonna fucking come get him.
Yeah.
I can't do anything myself, but I will rile Haruhi up and we will kick his ass. She's like, transmitting.
Transmission over.
So like I think the club has sort of formed them into real friendships, even if they are still like enemies and uneasy against each other there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, and then Koizumi again, he's like, I guess I don't know, his relationship with Koizumi sometimes feels like they're genuine friends and sometimes feels like he still doesn't trust Koizumi. But I think at this point he is genuine friends with Koizumi. But there's just a lot more like Kyon not trusting Koizumi in the books, it feels like.
Okay.
Do you want to go into All Aboard?
Okay.
We haven't called it that in a while, but
Mm-hmm.
do you have a favorite ship from this?
I mean, it's Kyon and Haruhi.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I also ship Kyon with Yuki.
Mhm.
That
would be the other
Yuki
one.
is growing and growing on me. I haven't fully decided on this, but I might give Yuki best girl. And like Haruhi is one of my number ones, but like Yuki is just so solid.
There's that thing where like Haruhi does some deplorable things, but then you're just like, but damn it, she's good.
Yeah. Season 1 Haruhi I think beats Yuki. But if I was trying to compare just season 2 Haruhi,
the maybe one slight issue with that is Yuki doesn't do a lot in the show. Just because of her nature. She's just kind of there.
I would argue that she does everything that's important. Everything that is...
But that's all she does, I guess. There's really not a lot of Yuki-centric stuff in the show. She's kind of just there, and then it's like, oh shit, now we need Yuki's help, and then she fixes it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't want to say that there's more of Yuki in the books, but I do think, she gets brought up more in the books, just as like, because in the show you can just be like, Yuki's in the corner. In the books, you have to say Yuki is in the corner reading, and like draw attention to things.
The movie helps Yuki though. It does give her more stuff. Yeah.
Yes, the movie, despite being called The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, Yuki is the character in the movie. I mean, Kyon is always the main character, but God, I love this show. Like I said, my other one is...
I'm not shipping Koizumi with anybody.
I'm officially shipping Koizumi with somebody in the book.
Oh, okay.
She just showed up in the most recent book, Intuition, and she transferred to the school in their second year.
Okay.
And is either American, English, or German. Japanese is not her first language.
Okay.
And she is in the Mystery Research Club. And is actually like old friends with Surya, because they're both from super rich families.
Which one is Surya?
Surya is the green-haired girl.
Oh, okay.
The upperclassman. Surya is also like a bigger character in the later books.
I like her.
Yeah. It's almost implied in one book where it's like, it's quite possible that Surya is also having paranormal adventures and just kind of comes into their lives every once in a while.
Yeah.
Her family owns a mountain. They go.
You can do that?
Yeah, apparently. Private property includes a mountain. They go treasure hunting there around Valentine's Day, and that's when like Kyon is having to do time travel missions with 8 Days in the Future Mikuru. Mm-hmm. And at one point they're like, you need to go into the mountains, go find a rock that looks like this, move it 3 meters to the west.
Okay.
Because when they go treasure hunting, at one point Haruhi has them dig right underneath where the rock currently is, and not 3 meters to the west of it. And later on, Kyon is like, Surya, you should go 3 meters to the west of this rock and dig up. And she's like, yeah, we found an ancient urn dating back hundreds of years, and there is like this weird rod of metal in it that is an alloy that should not have existed back then. And we're like, you want to hold on to that? We don't know what that is. I don't know what that is yet. Maybe it's something in theater. I don't know. But every once in a while, Kyon is like, remember that rod? Fuck, is that going to come back to bite us in the ass? Should I have told Surya to go dig that up? I don't know. But anyway, this girl is part of the Mystery Research Club. And she's in 2 of the stories in Intuition. One of them, they have to come up. Have you seen the trope in anime where schools have like the 7 wonders of the school. If you go up these stairs, it's 8 steps, but if you go down, it's only 7 steps. Or the anatomical model moves around at night, or the piano is playing in the music room in the middle of the night. There's 7 mysteries or wonders of schools. And Haruhi asks her, during lunch one time, it's like, do we have any of them? And she's like, no, I don't think they do. So the SOS Brigade is like, okay, before Haruhi, actually causes 7 wonders to show up and cause havoc on the school, we should come up with 7 wonders. And, she just, shows up in the story, drops off a bunch of research material from the Mystery Club, including a made-up story from the school that the Mystery Club just fabricated completely, but presented as an actual account of a mysterious happening. But then in the longer one, which is called Surya's Challenge, the first 10 pages of that book are her and Koizumi just talking about different mystery authors and theories and whether or not they're valid. Do you remember what the do you remember John Dixon Carr?
John Dixon Cars?
John Dixon Carr is when we watched Wake Up Dead Man, and Benoit Blanc had he had a book that was John Dixon Carr talks about the 4 styles of how to pull off a locked room murder, and they mentioned John Dixon Carr. Well, John Dixon Carr comes up a lot in these books.
Oh yeah,
he's in he's mentioned in 2 or 3 books. But I just wanted to draw that up. I'm like, that's so weird because we just watched Wake Up Dead Man, and I'm reading these books. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same name. But yeah, so they just have 10 pages dedicated to them, and sometimes Yuki talking about mysteries, and then Surya emails them with several mysteries of her own. But yeah, so I do sort of ship Koizumi with that girl.
Okay.
And Taniguchi with her name is Suo Kuyo is the other alien girl. I do like Sasaki, Kyon's middle school friend, but I don't ship her with Kyon. I'm not Kunikita. I didn't get the wrong impression. We learned that Kunikita has a crush on Surya. That's why he goes to North High to try to get to her level of genius. So I don't know if I shipped that because they barely talk, but they are in the movie together. Kunikita at one point is just because of you, I gotta sort of be friends with her. She's my idol. That is what I'm constantly striving against, is to try to get to her level. And every time I do, it turns out, oh wait, she's moved on from there. There's several levels higher than me. Yeah, I like Surya's great. I don't know if it means anything that Surya has the same voice actor as Kyon's little sister. It's Kari Waldgren.
Okay.
I don't think that means anything from what I've seen, but
probably not.
Okay. Do you have a best girl?
I mean, it's either Yuki or Haruhi.
Yeah. So let's take them out of the equation. Who's next?
It might be the green haired chick.
Surya. It's another character we don't get their full names.
I don't know if there was more of her though. I might just be out, but from what we got, I think it's her.
I think she's just fine in the book. It doesn't ruin her in the books or anything.
Because she's a lot, but
she's
I
a
like
lot.
it.
Well, and that's the thing is she's not a brigade member.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's quite possible that her family is funding Koizumi's organization.
Okay.
Or at least Koizumi is part of our funds derive from part of their company or something but it may not be her family directly, or not necessarily in the thing, but it's and even in the little chibi show, it's implied that there's more stuff going on with her because
wait, who is that girl in the movie that they say was in class 9, but when the...
Oh, fuck, I don't remember her name. I don't even know if she has a name.
That's her. She's best girl.
She's best girl. I think I would go Surya next.
Yeah.
Asahina kind of is like just a little too annoying. To me. The voice by Stephanie Shea, the voice actress in Your Name. Mm-hmm. She does a great job in Your Name.
I mean, she does a good job in this one. It's a high voice.
It's a high-pitched voice and can get a little annoying.
Yeah.
Michelle Ruff does a great job as Yuki, I think. Because there's very much it's monotone, but you can kind of tell when there's a little bit of emotion there. Which is Yuki's whole thing, is you can kind of tell when there's a little bit of emotion there.
Yeah.
And Kyon in the book prides himself on being able to like read moods of Yuki. Then what else was there? Who else is there? Yeah, I don't know. I really, really like Yuki right now in the current watch through. But I've got two Haruhi figures next to me. One is like a little window or like a little plush, and one is the posable figure. So I don't think I can betray her. I think if I did, I might die. And she is still great. I want to throw that out there. I'm just like, but Yuki's like MVP. Haruhi's captain, but Yuki's MVP.
Haruhi's captain, but okay.
And Kyon is like the... we talked about if they actually formed a band, what instruments they would play. But we didn't talk about it in the record here.
Oh, okay.
So if we go by what we saw in Live Alive, then Haruhi is lead singer and rhythm guitar, which makes sense in that she is front and foremost. And Yuki plays lead guitar, which does take the most like technical acumen, I think, which again makes sense. So we have that to base off. So where do we put Kyon and Mikuru and Koizumi?
So the problem is you need drummer, but none of them read drummer to me.
I think Kyon
would be the one.
I think Kyon reads drummer. Because the drummer's job is to keep everybody on beat.
Okay.
And I think Kyon fits that role.
So
Mikuru is literally just tambourine.
Tambourine, and then Koizumi would be bass.
Yeah. And I think Koizumi... I mean, bass is also sort of helps with the drum as far as keeping everything on track. And I think Koizumi does do that. There's straight up one of the short stories, Snowy Mountain Syndrome, which is where we set up the first encounter with a different alien species, though we don't see it as the girl yet. And like something like Haruhi is part of that paranormal occurrence. Like she's in the weird like haunted mansion thing Snowvilla thing they go into. When they leave, she's part of one of the like strange visions that everybody has of one of the other brigade members coming into their room at night and being possibly sexually forward with them. And when they leave that and the like manor just like disappears, Haruhi is there for all of that. And Koizumi is just sort of like, mass hallucination? And she's like, you know what? I'm going to buy that. So yeah, I think he kind of helps keep things on track, but that's really the drummer's job, which Kyon. So I think those roles fit. Otherwise, I guess you could say that Mikuru is drummer because she keeps time.
Ooh. No, she's tambourine.
She's tambourine. Literally every time travel mission she has involves Kyon. That I've seen. It's like, we need Kyon to save this boy. We need
Haruhi, I don't think would let her play anything but a tambourine.
Well, and I think Haruhi even says, get Mikuru up on the stage with a cute tambourine.
Yeah.
I think she says that at the end of it alive.
There's no way she's letting her play anything else.
No. Okay. I mean, I've been talking about Haruhi for an hour straight now.
Oh yeah, we're way over frag time.
Did you have any questions now for me?
Nah.
Okay. This is not an official announcement, but a very reliable leaker has posted on Twitter that there may be a new Haruhi animation coming out. Or the leaker has said a new Haruhi animation is coming out. Now, it is a reliable leaker. They pretty much have a 100% track record from what people on the Haruhi subreddit were talking about.
Okay.
But it is still a leaker and unofficial source. So, the last time we got really excited about a new Haruhi project, it was a pachinko machine. So,
okay.
But, I mean, the books had a very long release, like, hiatus. I'll just pull it up here real quick. So, in Japan, the first book released in 2003.
Okay.
Second book released later in 2003. So, June 2003 to September 2003.
Yikes.
To December 2003.
Wow.
Then we had, so that was basically like the first 2 seasons worth of shows. Though a few, I think, the only like short story ones we get are Remote Island Syndrome, Mysterique Sign, which is the Camel Cricket episode, Bamboo Leaf Rhapsody, and the baseball episode, The Boredom. Those are the only like short stories we got in those first 3 books. Then we get Disappearance, July 31st, 2004. And we get Rampage, which is In the Day of Sagittarius, Snowy Mountain Syndrome, September 2004. Wavering is March 2005. And that is, again, that's Adventures of Mikuru Asahina, episode 00, the movie. Mm-hmm. Live Alive, and then the 3 short stories that I talked about.
We don't need...
I know. I'm just saying that's the end of the stuff that you know.
Okay.
Is that 2005 book. And then some stuff that you don't know. We've got another one in...
When was the last book released?
Well, I want to get to the time jump here. Because we were pretty like steadily, 1 to 2 books a year. Up till 2007. Which is when Dissociation comes out. 4 years later, which remember, Dissociation is part 1, 2, and 3 of a 9-part, actually a 10-part series with the Surprise of Haruhi Suzumiya books. But we go from 2007 to 2011.
Okay.
And then we go from 2011 to... Okay, it looks like it is still 2011 for the second part. But there's a 4-year gap from the start of this story and the end of this story. And meanwhile, in between that, 2006 is when the first season aired. Second season aired in 2009. I want to say the movie came out 2010-ish. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Then from 2011, the end of the Surprise, we don't get the book that I just read today until 2020.
Oh, wow.
There's a 9-year gap. And then the one that I have not read yet, The Theater of Haruhi Suzumiya, came out in 2024, November of 2024. So about a year ago.
Okay.
So the books are starting to pick up a little bit more heat now. There's a 9-year gap where we're like...
Well, they got a bunch of books they haven't adapted. So, like, they have the material.
Oh, they most certainly have a bunch of books they haven't adapted. Like, they could do the... Dissociation and Surprise as just a season. Yeah. They could easily do that. But like the books, 2020 hit, like, we got another book. Mm-hmm. And it's just like 3 short stories, but okay. And now 2004 or 2024, we got another book. I'm like, okay, things are like kind of picking up. Definitely the Koyani fires did not help. Mm-hmm. In fact, in the very end of The Intuition of Haruhi Suzumiya, the one I just read today, he like has a note where he like talks about like some of the people he knew. And,
oh, really?
And it's like, the last time I saw this guy, I said, we got to get drinks sometime. And now I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, damn, man, this is 6 years ago, but this is kind of sucks. So, are we getting another Haruhi animation? Hopefully it's Kyoto Animation Koyani, because they did a good job with all the other stuff. I didn't really like the animation in the Nagato Yuki spinoff. It was just a little too generic. I don't know. Didn't have that same level of quality. So hopefully we're getting Dissociation and Surprise as a season, but
so that's what you'd want them to adapt if they're doing.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Those are they might need to do. If we're going in book order, that's like the biggest story after Disappearance, I would say.
Okay.
Intrigues of Haruhi Suzumiya is a pretty big story. That's when Mikuru goes back in time 8 days. And that's when we like first run into the other time traveler and the other Esper. So I think we would have to do those first because it sets up those characters. I don't think we can jump straight into it, but so I guess they could do a bunch of the short stories we haven't gotten in between those. And there are short stories that happened. Like there's a short story in Intuition, the one I just read today, that is like, oh, that's them going to the shrine after New Year's. So like, okay, well that happens before these other short stories, before they go into their second year. So like, they will probably pull in that short story, the Cat Mystery, Snowy Mountain Syndrome, Time Travel Date, and then like half of the season dedicated to Intrigues. If I had to guess, that's what they would do next. But what I want is Dissociation and Surprise, because that's the big like epic one. Mm-hmm. And they can get really, like I said, there's 2 timelines in that one, so they could really go into like okay, one episode is alpha timeline, one episode is beta timeline, and like wait a minute, why is this Monday again? But different things are happening. Yuki's in the club room. No, Yuki's sick. What's going on? Like I think they could really fuck with form again if they did that. Because the book is definitely structured like, okay, alpha timeline Sunday, beta timeline Sunday. Whereas they could just dedicate like a whole episode and then fuck with stuff. They could even give us To It Out of Order again. I wouldn't care. So you lose track of, wait a minute, have we had Monday yet? Wait, we've had Monday twice? That doesn't sound right. You can do it. I don't know. So that's news out there. Maybe it'll be official news by the time this releases. Maybe they're waiting until the 18th, like we are, to release this. And there'll be official news, but
my guess is they wait till after this anime cycle.
Yeah, so I'm hoping. Up, so. I got my hopes up, but not too high. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I've got one more book to read, and I know that he's put out a book, just a little over a year ago. So that's much more concerning than we haven't had a book since 2011. So, all right. I don't want to give our normal spiel. You know where to find us at this point. You found us at this point. So,
do you want to talk about the change in format?
We did that on the last episode, but we're moving to a monthly format. I don't actually know what we're going to do for January 1st, but we need to do something quick. Probably be a movie, if I'm being honest. Just as far as time constraints go, but we'll figure it out. Holidays coming up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I will look forward to our next episode on January 1st or February 1st. I don't think we're going to do that, but we could skip January, but I don't think we will. You're now leaving the anime territory.
Goodbye.